Hi everyone, it's Rax. Did an interesting little experiment today to figure out exactly how can we get as much XP per hour as possible and what's the optimal thing that any player should be doing. You might have thought, well, Rax, you seem to spend a lot of time thinking about this. You probably had figured it all out by it now. Nope. So I want to take you through kind of the little experiment that I did and show you, of course, the final answer on exactly what you should be doing. So there are two things to consider in the game. Well, I guess kind of three, but two main things you should consider in the game for how you level up. The first thing is the experience multiplier that you're getting from the monsters. Now, this is really easy to solve. We know what this is, don't really have to test much on it. It's plus 10 levels above your character. It's been that way, I think, for a while, and I don't think Blizzard has changed it. And the data that I have ran seems to agree with this. So, in general, if you are fighting monsters plus 10 levels above you, then you should be getting the vast majority of the experience that you need in the game to fly up as fast as possible. Which is exactly why I think on Blizzard's Helltide thing, it increases Helltide by exactly 10 levels. Probably not a coincidence. But there's another more mysterious thing, which is the base monster XP. And this seems to have changed a lot. And honestly, I was talking with Woody the other day, and neither of us were exactly sure how it worked. And this is what I wanted to find out. So, obviously, as the monsters go up, we would assume that the XP that they provide goes up. But by how much, and does it ever stop at a certain point? And that's exactly what I want to show you in this beautiful little Excel sheet. So, what are we looking at here? Well, first of all, I went to a dungeon, Alderwood, and I fought the little Poombas, the big pigs with the tusks or the warthogs or whatever they are. And I killed them twice. I singled them out and I killed them twice at all these different levels to make absolutely sure that my data was good. And by the way, shout out to all the people in chat that were helping me look at the numbers and were helping me find the exact right keys. That was incredible. So the first thing you're going to notice is I tried it in a regular dungeon first versus a nightmare dungeon at pretty similar monster differentials. And you can see the nightmare dungeon pays you almost double. That's just for killing one little Pumbaa. So that's why nightmare dungeons are so godly for XP, and it's also the events within the dungeons. I have heard some people say that, Rax, you're overestimating the events. They're not that good. They're kind of rare. Casuals can't run around and find the events. I don't think they're overrated at all. They're pretty insane. And I don't know what that means. The casuals can't find the events. All you do is run around in the dungeon and click the shrines and click the chests. And if an event spawns, you just do it. I don't think you need any crazy knowledge. Just run around and do the events. Anyway, so the first thing we see is the nightmare dungeons pay you way more than just running any of their regular content. Helltide is of course good because you chain spawn the boss or you go do the events. So Helltide is there, especially with the mine cage. Nightmare dungeons are going to win definitely because of the events. But what I am wondering is as I increase the nightmare dungeon level, what happens to the XP that I get from these different little Poombas? Well, when there's a 21 level difference between myself and the monsters, you can see that my XP goes from about 17k to 18k, which is not crazy because the first one was 12, so I already had the plus 10 level multiplier, which is going to be the vast majority of your experience. So you're going to see that this is pretty critical to leveling up fast. And this is kind of just a little bonus. It's not as extreme as you might think. And then I saw something very interesting. When the monster level got above 100, I tried at 108, and at 110, they gave me the exact same XP. Which leads me to the conclusion that at monster level 100, the base XP stops going up. So, to summarize this in simple terms for everybody out there, there is kind of an optimal answer And it kind of depends on if your build is absolutely destroying everything or if you're kind of like on a new character that doesn't have good stuff. So if your build sucks, the best thing that you could do is just grab this XP multiplier. So you want to plug a sigil that's where the monster level is exactly 10 levels higher than you and run that the whole way up. As you gain a level, you have the sigil go up 1, and that works nicely for all the sigils that drop. It pretty much just kind of follows you like that anyway. So if your build sucks and you can't do like the tough content, you take whatever your level is and subtract 44. So if you're level 70, then you would subtract 44 and you would run Nightmare Dungeon 26. And then it adds 54 to the monster level in a Nightmare Dungeon 26. The monster level would be 80. 80 minus 70 is 10. There you go. You're frying. So this is the answer if your build is not fully complete. Take your level minus 44 and try to plug that sigil or just slightly higher, and it will be perfect for you. If instead your build is absolutely annihilating the game, then the best dungeon to run is Nightmare Dungeon 46. Because Nightmare Dungeon 46 is going to have exactly monster level 100 enemies. That's going to give you the capped base XP, and it's going to give you the plus 10 multiplier. The only time that's not true is if you're level 91 or higher. If you're 91 or higher, you go back to the golden rule. Subtract 44, and they'll always be 10 levels above you, and then you'll be perfect from then on to make sure that you keep the multiplier. And that's pretty much it. That's the entire video. I wanted to show you that I went in and actually tested everything, and chat was helping me plug the right keys and record the numbers, isolating a monster. Kind of look like really boring stuff gathering all this data, but you can really figure out some brilliant things when you do this. So it looks like the base is capped at 100. The multiplier is capped at plus 10. So if all that doesn't make any sense, take your level, subtract 44, run that Nightmare Dungeon or slightly higher, and you're going to get pretty much all of the value. I guess one more thing I should talk about is if you look at the difference between this Nightmare Dungeon, which is essentially M level 100, and just doing 10 levels above you, you get about a 15% difference. But that's not really the percent difference, though. Like, how much faster would it be to run 46 the whole way? This number is too high because, first of all, you would spend way more time in the higher levels because they're harder to get. And this multiplier, and it's also going to diminish the multiplier if you chain run 46 because the base XP doesn't go up as you level through it. So maybe this is what the math says, but the answer is really, I would guess, maybe about 8% faster, which is like another elixir, which is, I don't know, it's not nothing, but the main point is if you do your level minus 44, that's going to be good enough. One final thing before I let you go, my friends over at Crimson Market, they are giving away their next PC. It's going to be the Circuit computer, and it's a wall PC. So this is the next one that they made. They make these beautiful little PCs all the time, and I think very soon they're going to be having a partnership with Starforge. So it's going to be incredible to see that. And then the way that you win is you go to Crimson Market and you join, you sign up to join their club, and then you get points, and then we do a drawing. So it's going to be in 16 days, and it's going to be beautiful. There's going to be 97 people. More and more people keep joining to win these cool PCs. They also have a Diablo 4 trading thing, and they just added the greater affix filtering because that's what most people are searching for. So shout out to our friends at Crimson Market, and sign up to win this wall PC, and we'll see what them and Starforge are going to do next time. Anyway, your level minus 44. Run those Nightmare Dungeons. I'll update the sheet. I don't know, man. I'm still having a lot of fun learning about Diablo 4 and figuring out the optimal strategies everywhere, but I think that just means that I'm a nerd. Anyway, many more videos are coming. Thanks, guys.